Hello everyone, we're here, we are live, we are ready to go, and we're picking up pretty much exactly where we left off with at the end of the last stream. The Puff 2 has just docked with the WKMSS, and I got up here 6 Kerbals. They're all scrolled along here, and I've taken the liberty of transferring them into their appropriate habitats or vehicles, so there's nobody left in here in the little space plane. I also took the liberty of transferring resources into this, so this the Nerve 1 here is completely filled up, so why don't we undock here? Hopefully I've done this okay, and we'll back to here, and we'll put on RCS, and we'll back away from the station, and we're going sideways. I don't want to do that because it's a pretty tight fit in here. And in here, as I have reaction wheels, and as usual, I don't have them on any kind of, that's a battery. I think they're in here somewhere. Oh, why didn't I put this on an action group? There they are. And we will toggle these on. Okay, and aboard, we only have 2 of the 6 Kerbals that were on the station. We have Rob D.V. Kerman, our pilot, and Dan P., our scientist, and the goal is to get out to the moon. There's the moon there, because in orbit about the moon, I have an asteroid, and I want to investigate said asteroid, and I also have in orbit about the moon. Oh, I'm going to do it this way, are we? There we go. 2 Kerbals in need of rescue. One of them has been there for a long time. Laguy here in his rather annoying retrograde orbit about the moon here. We left him behind last time because he picked an awkward orbit to get to compared to the other ones. But I also picked up another rescue contract, Javier O, who is in a normal prograde equatorial. See, he picked a good orbit. But I think I'm going to go for Laguy, and then we'll see if we have the Delta V left. 2,313 meters per second of Delta V in the Nerve 1. So, might be able to make the plane change. We'll see how it goes. But also in orbit around here, I have, oh my gosh. I have a lot of stuff. But this is the one I'm really interested in. Let's set him as a target here. And then we can turn off the rest. There we go. We have the Arm 1, which is attached to the asteroid. And I intentionally put it in an orbit that is very similar to Laguy's orbit. So whether we go to Laguy first, or probably we'll go... Let's go to the asteroid first. We'll go out to Laguy, and then after all that, we'll see if we got the fuel to be able to pick up Javier. And if we do not, we'll scoot on back. And if we do, we will try to. But I want to make sure to leave enough room in here. This can carry 6 Kerbals, so I wanted to leave enough room. And there's no reason to have beyond a pilot and a scientist aboard. I don't think... Well, now that I'm wondering, I think that might not have been smart. Because I have 2 engineers aboard here. Yeah. You know what? They're not too far away. I should have... Where's our... Let's EVA. I should bring an engineer too. So let's EVA Michael. This isn't... not doing this the smart way. We'll make sure Michael has EVA propellant. He does. Or she does. Sorry. Should have brought Michael along. Whoa! Don't crash into wings and things. Okay, we're up there, right? It's okay. We'll get up there. He's like, don't leave me behind! Okay, and I think there is a hatch right here. Actually, no. Let's put Michael in the forward cabin here. There's 3 people that can fit in this cabin. We'll put our rescuees in the back. Don't want her sitting with the losers who get themselves stuck in orbit. There we go. Okay, now we got 3 Kerbals here. That's good. All right, and before we get really any further in all this, I do want to, once again, thank my wonderful patrons who continue to support this channel, and a very special thanks out to Lex Luter, who has a message for you all, which is to always reach for the stars. So thank you very much, Lex. Thank you very much to all my other patrons. And thanks to everybody else who supports this channel, whether that is through subscribing, liking, commenting, all of that stuff that feeds that wonderful amorphous algorithm that we're all slaves to. Okay, let's see. Let's get ourselves to the moon. Here, I can put it in this way. 8:55. There we go. And focus our view here. Come on. Too much junk. There we go. And again, we're going to start by going for the asteroid. And the asteroid's going around this way, so I do need to make sure I'm coming in, going in the same direction, or else things don't go well. That's the wrong way. Oh. Retrograde gets me closer this way. Zoom in here. I always like to do this with the minimal amount of fuel I can, which is potentially lazy on my part, but I really don't care. If we come down too low, we're not even going to hit the moon, so. Going the wrong way on the time. Okay, that's getting pretty close. I think we're barely... Alright, and all I want to do is put my periapsis. Actually, our periapsis is coming very close to our relative ascending node here. So that will help facilitate our rendezvous a little bit. But I think I need to just come in. Oh, that was a lot closer. Get that periapsis right above the orbit there. We'll do a little bit. It'll be a tiny little correction. That looks okay. That looks okay for now. All right. Let's see here. Is this thing... Oh, wait. Let's deploy all our stuff. And we'll run our KOS script here, which is somewhere hidden in all of this. There it is. And you can always see the nearby probe bodies. I think it shows everything that's rendered. So I don't know, maybe you can I control things? I probably can. Best not, I don't want to try it though. Let's run our alignment script. This is just for solar panels. And activate that engine. And we're all filled up with fuel, and I'm hoping we have all the resources we would need. We certainly do. Wastewater, we don't. We got a little bit of wastewater. Somebody didn't waste any time. Should have gone before we left. Okay. So we'll let this sort of sort itself out. And delete. And we got the burn coming up in just 6 minutes. So, and we're already already pointing in the right direction. Oh, RCS can come off. There. And I typed an R here by mistake. Yep. Let's just do this. Oh, do not come in front of us, station. I think we're okay. Getting a battery warning, which I really don't care about. It is a 3-minute and 1-second burn because we don't have the greatest of thrust to weight ratios on this vehicle, but what we do have... Oh, wait, I can run. Oh, my gosh. Getting all... There we go. Let's let the script take care of it. That's why I have it, right? Don't have the best of thrust to weight ratios, but what we do have is efficiency, and that's what we're going for. All right. Here, we can... A little closer here. You gotta be a little bit careful when you separate from stations and stuff, that as you come around, you don't end up drifting right into the line of fire with the station. I have done that before, especially if you're going to be doing the burn through automation. But let's say goodbye to the station. Here we go. Goodbye, station. Not exactly roaring off at high accelerations, but that's okay. So yeah, we'll come back with at least one more Kerbal, hopefully 2 more Kerbals. Or I can probably do some time warping while we do this. Now, one thing, actually, while this burn is going, you might recall from 2 streams ago, I think it was 2 streams ago, I was having issues with this central tank rotating on me. It seemed to get worse with every time I rendered this vessel. This central tank would rotate, and it knocked the thrust vector out of... It was no longer pointing through the center of mass of the vehicle because everything was no longer symmetric. And this thing was basically unflyable. As you can see, it's flying fine now, and everything seems to be well centered. You might be wondering how I fixed that. I fixed that by putting up an entirely new one. So I'm sorry about that. I went into the VAB. I rebuilt the bottom half of this using fresh parts, and then I Alt F12'd my way back to the station. I deorbited the old one, obviously making sure all the Kerbals were out of it, and I added this one in instead. And I made sure, though, that when I did that, I sent this thing up with the appropriate amount of resources, so it's not, it did not add any more resources to the station. So I was careful about sort of not using this as an opportunity to sneak up more liquid fuel and life support and stuff like that. I didn't do that. But right now this thing seems to be doing well. Let's take a look at our meetup here. Oh, I can see we just have to do a little bit more. Okay, we'll get rid of the burn. Look at it from straight up. Oop. All right, and we'll go to here. Bop, bop, and realign the solar panels and get thinking about that little bit of a correction. It's not going to be much. All I need to do is bring this periapsis down so it's just touching the orbit is really all we're after here. So this is going to be a very small burn. Play with the timing, see what gets us our most efficient location. It really doesn't seem to matter too much. No, let's get back down to here. A little bit up. And you can tell if the AN here and the P are at the same spot, that means you're right at the spot where the orbits are crossing. So I'm thinking that's all we're talking about there. We have a 1.9 meter per second burn here. I'm debating whether or not just do that with, I think I'll just do that with RCS. A little bit of radialness. Kind of bring it in a little bit, like that. That looks pretty good. All right. Has this thing lined itself all up yet? Oh, yes, it has. Delete. And end that program. And yeah, let's get out there. Crossing radiation belts, of course, but this thing has plenty of shielding. Let's get up here so we can keep an eye on our Kerbals. The radiation outside is 0.014 rads per hour, but inside it's only 1.369 millirads per hour. So we're okay here. Okay, let's shoot. No, I'm going to do this with RCS. Let's just get ourselves onto the maneuver node. Watch it from here. And I don't have to wait for this time to get right at 0 because this is hardly a time critical burn. So I'm just going to put on RCS once I'm on there. If I get a little past, I don't care. Okay, let's just hit H. I might have wanted to do this with the engines. Kind of committed myself now. I don't think I'm using up a lot of monopropellant with this. No, I'm not. No. It's all good. A little bit back onto that maneuver node. A little bit more H-iness there. That's fine. RCS off. Run that alignment. Whoops. Keep hitting I for some reason when I think of alignment. I don't know what that's about. All right, and so we're going to be here in 4 hours. Crossing into the moon's SOI. Let's open up Kerbal Alarm Clock. Add an alarm for that menu. I know that there's a built-in alarm clock now here with 1.12, and I'm not really all that used to it. So I'm kind of hesitating just using it. Where's the moon? There we go. I will say that I'm going to have to get used to it because we are closing in on 10,000 subscribers with this channel, and my idea is once I do that to pick a subsequent Wednesday and do a 10-hour marathon stream in the latest version of 1.12, all stock. And see, it's going to be about getting to and landing on and planting flags and getting back from as many bodies in the Kerbal system as I can get in just 10 hours. That's going to be the plan. Starting in science mode, right with a fresh new game. So I'm going to have to unlock everything and all of that kind of stuff too. And I think that should be a fun time. So that'll probably happen within the next few weeks or so. All right, we already have our target selected, so let's facilitate ourselves here a rendezvous. And you can see again, as this is coming down, the maneuver nodes are not moving. All you got to do to fix that is pop ahead like a second or two until they jump. There they go. And I'm probably going to want to, what's our inclination difference here? It's 15 degrees, but the better place to make that inclination change is way out here, and the further out this is, the cheaper that inclination change is going to be. So what I'm actually going to do is let's back off on this burn. Whoops, that's the wrong way. Let's back off on this burn a little bit. Yeah, back off a little more. I'm really just looking at the time. Let's see. Back off one more orbit. The further out that is, the cheaper this gets. Let's do 2 more orbits. I'm very cheap. Okay. That's 4 hours and 25 minutes. So that's what I was really looking at as the time, 4 hours and 25 minutes. So I just didn't want this to take too long. So we will still finagle here a bit of a rendezvous. Where is that one? I know there's a lot of numbers. 32.4 kilometers. Wow, this is going to be itsy bitsy. This doesn't have to be perfect by any stretch because I'm going to then do the plane change out here and we'll tweak it again. But that should work out. Okay. So again, I always time warp at this point. Or not time warp, quick save at this point because I get paranoid. Let's warp to that burn. And run our maneuver. Oh, wait, I can do it this way. Run our maneuver executor. Hitting the up arrow to go back to previously typed in commands. Which apparently everybody who does a lot of coding knows that that is a thing. But it's completely new for me. Okay, it's getting itself. It'll be fine. It's going to get itself there. All right, we're getting ready to get started with this burn. And then we'll go out and get Laguy, and then we'll see if we can get any more get Javier too. But our primary purpose here is science. That is what the main game here is about, is collecting science from that asteroid. I would love to have 500 science. I'm only at 100.3, so I'm not sure this will put me over the top. But I want to get 500 science because that will unlock the whiplash engines and the toroidal engines from which you can build yourself a very spiffy and functional single-staged orbit spaceplane. That's what I want to get to. I'm not sure this is going to do it, but I do still have a fully fueled, and it can probably be fueled over a few times, lander attached to Minmus Station. So probably after this, not this stream, but probably the next one, we'll be looking at getting ourselves to Minmus and doing some landings for... Okay, let's see here. So we got to do ourselves a plane change. So we're going to do it way out here. And I can see it's got to come this way. And then while you do that, you're also going to be messing up your encounter here because you can't help but do that and push out your periapsis. So I want to, I've got to look at a few things here. Let's get this descending node selected. Okay, let's put in a little bit more retrograde on that. Getting our encounter again. I think I overdid it. No, this way. See the AN. A little bit of prograde, I think. Yep. Just fiddle around with the normal and with the prograde and radial part of this. I'm trying to do two things at the same time. One is I'm trying to get this inclination difference to be as small as I can get it. The other thing, of course, I'm trying to get the maneuver to be as close as I can get it together. So it takes a little bit of fiddling. This way. Yeah, I overdid it. Now I can see I overdid it. That way, this way. Let's see here. So got 0.6 separation right there, and where is my angle? Unfortunately, every time I click on one, oh, that's 0.3. I can see it out here. Can we? The distance is the thing I want to minimize more than anything. Oh, I might be at the end of this. I think so. What if I play with the timing just a little bit? Does that make a difference? A little bit of 1 second intervals into the future here. Really doesn't matter, does it? Of course, I changed it to 0.7, 1.7. Okay. Stop fiddling. 1.7 kilometers, we'll go with that. So that is a burn coming up in 2 hours and 45 minutes. It is a 6-second burn, so what we'll do is just nerf the thrust on this just a little bit. The longer the burn, the better I find my script does. Hello, Kerbin. All right, let's get out there. Again, run the maneuver executor. This one is mostly normal, just changing the plane. But notice it's only a 30 meter per second burn. I could have guaranteed you it would have been more expensive to do it down there. Because when you do these, any burn that's away from either the prograde or the retrograde vectors, which this certainly is, the slower you're going, the cheaper it is. And we're going pretty slow out here. Our orbital velocity is only 111 meters per second. Time warp a little closer. right. And we can watch our, here we go. We can watch this closest approach indicator here. It's going to dance around a little bit, but it should settle in on a fairly small number. 3 kilometer closest approach. 1.6 kilometer closest approach. Can we do better than that? Let's put on the RCS. I think that was about what I had. Well, that is making it better. No, now it's making it worse. So that's about as good as it's going to get. 1.66. Okay. And we are there in 2 hours and 48 minutes. Put the thrust back up. We're going to use alarm clock. We're going to add in a an alarm, give us 5 minutes warning coming into our target. There we go. And yeah, because we're going to come in with some velocity. All right. I don't think I'm going to need this anymore, so let's just get down there. I'm getting complaints in the chat about the order in which you unlock things on the tech tree, specifically this time, that you get the NERV engine, a nuclear-powered engine, before you get an RTG, which is simpler technology. And RTGs are used all the time on distant probes, and we don't really use nuclear engines that much in real life. So it does sort of beg the question as to how realistic that is. I mean, let's face it, there's lots of things on the tech tree that really sort of is bizarre to me, how far they are up the tech tree, like ladders. We'll have jet engines and, you know, all kinds of chemical rocket engines before we'll ever unlock ladders. Always find that one sort of funny. Okay, let's see. How are we doing here? We got about 149 meters per second for our relative velocity. We're going to be there in about 4 minutes. Let's see if we can not knock off a little bit of this. That's making it worse. Going this way. And that's making it better. Which feels like you're pushing the retrograde vector in the wrong direction, but don't forget our paths are curved. There we got a nice view of a crescent curve in there. Just kind of keep going this way. As long as this closest approach number keeps going down, I'm just going to keep burning in this direction. Come a little bit this way. Yeah. 31 kilometers away. We now have a closest approach of about 1 kilometer. Probably increase the throttle here a little bit. Noticing our time to... Oh, it's starting to come. I want to knock off more of this speed. I guess that's really what... Oh, I just noticed the speed was going up. When was the last time I serviced this engine? Oh, we still got 19 ignitions on it, so that's okay. Okay, let's start knocking off some of this velocity. I think I need to let myself get a little bit closer. I'm pushing up my closest approach here too much. Getting closer. Still going at about 100 meters per second relative to our target, so I do have to be a little careful here. About a minute and a half. Let's really start. I don't want to let myself get too close and find myself blowing by. That'd be bad. I'm still pushing up my time too, so that's always a good sign. And of course, there's always the small issue of spraying superheated plasma at your person you're trying to rescue. But I still got 68 meters per second relative velocity, so I'm not ready to go down to RCS just yet. Okay, I can get closer still. Oh, wait a minute. This is an asteroid. This isn't a rescue. Let's remember what we're doing here. My mistake. My mistake, this is an asteroid. Rescue comes next. There's nobody aboard over here. We can spray away with our radioactive exhaust. Oh, I think it's I can see it now. Yeah, it's more than just simply a waypoint. All right. Let's get ourselves in nice and close. We're only 20 meters per second relative speed. I see an asteroid. I see a vessel attached to the asteroid. All right, we're down to a meter per second. I think I can use RCS at this point. So there is our target. You know, I'm just thinking, I got 1160 meters per second, which is a little dubious for getting to our, it is very dubious for getting to our other person. Well, we'll be able to get to Laguy, but to the other person in that retrograde orbit. But one thing that I really didn't consider, here, let's just do a little bit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why did I do that? Oh, I'm on the wrong other way. Oh my gosh. This is what happens when I talk and do stuff at the same time. There we go. I'm pushing the prograde icon onto here. Fired up the engine just temporarily for some bizarro reason. But what I was trying to say is there is quite a lot of fuel on this vessel here still that brought this thing here. And it does have a docking port. So theoretically I could dock these two together, but I got a feeling I put that docking port in a rather silly place. But one thing at a time. I don't know if we can dock these two together, that'd be great, but I really have kind of my doubts on that. Okay, let's get in closer. Because when I put the docking port on, I wasn't thinking about docking just random vehicles to it. I was thinking about bringing up like just a bunch of fuel. Okay, slowing down. Oh. Oh my gosh, fingers in the wrong spots. Let's just switch to it. Where's that docking port? I put it, oh, it's right here. And I'm looking at this thing with its air brakes that come off like pedals, and the fact that this is right on an asteroid, I don't really think... Well, let's set it as a target just for yucks anyway, but I really don't think I can get in there. I could detach this vessel, I suppose. How much fuel was on there again? 1,331 units of liquid fuel in that big old... Well, here, I can look at it here, can't I? 1,705 units of liquid fuel. And this vessel right now has 328 units of liquid fuel and can only hold 700. So we could fill up entirely. This might just be worth it. This might be worth it. All right, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. First here, we're just going to come in close. Time warp a bit more. We're going to come in close, and Dan P is going to go out and do herself a little bit of a survey of the asteroid, and we'll see how much science this adds up to. Okay. Okay, let's bring ourselves to a relative stop here. There we go. There we are. And what we'll do is, let's see, we'll use this back capsule, which has nobody in it. We'll use it as kind of like an airlock. So I'm going to transfer Dan P over to here. I'm pretty sure Dan is our scientist. Yep. And then we're going to take this one. We're going to turn off the pressure control once I find it. Pressure control. Turn that off. And then that means that when we leave here, we're not going to end up... it won't try and repressurize the capsule, and that will save us on our nitrogen. Okay, Dan P's going to EVA. I'm going to again look, and she has monopropellant. Some people might recall that I got burned on that once. Okay, let's get towards this asteroid. I know we can do a surface sample. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What am I... Where are you going, Dan? There we go. Temporarily... Confusified. There we go. Okay, so I think we just got to get in close here, and we can take a sample. And we have collected samples. And what is that? That's got to be science. A sample here. 70 credits of science. And it weighs. We took 33.88 kilograms. That's Kerbalism that adds in that mass idea. All right, where's our ship? There we are. Down there. So that's 70 science. I don't think there's any... Oh, wait, can she do an EVA report? Like, I think the EVA report's just around the moon, right? Yeah, doesn't see the EVA report as anything new. Okay, so that's it. We just took a sample of the asteroid. That's all we can do. And she is in the bottom capsule. Hello, ship. I believe that's the hatch right there in front of us. Should really put a light on that so I can see what it... Oh, well. That's what it is. Okay, grab. And board. And now, actually, what we'll do... No. How many ignitions are left on this? 14. We're still okay. Okay, let's repressurize this. And we'll transfer her back there with her compadres. And what do you think? Can I dock here? I think it's worth the try. So we're going to select that as a target. We're going to try and sneak in here. Let's set these... I mean, these antennas are in a pretty bad spot. So let's retract that antenna and that antenna. They're completely unnecessary, too. And we're going to try and get in here. We'll see how it goes. So, oh, it's still set as a target. That's good. And we will set this as as our control point. Okay, and we'll see if we can. Where's a prograde vector? There it is. We're going to come over the top. I'm going to swing around. Oh, I got my doubts. But if this doesn't work, what we can do is detach this guy from the asteroid, and that should give us enough maneuvering room. It's really the fact that it's stuck to an asteroid. Oh, there's goo and material. Oh, thank you, Alf. Alf says, Mike Aben, don't forget to retrieve the goo and the materials bay from the ARM 1. You were 100% right. It was so long ago that I did that, I completely forgot. But while this thing was in orbit about the sun, it collected a materials bay and a goo, and there is most certainly science there for us to get. So we want that. And I think if we can dock, I believe I should be able to transfer over directly. I hope there's... I just thought about... Do we have... Oh dear. 18 slots available. Okay, good. The materials bay takes 4 slots and the goo takes 1 slot. I'm not sure if I thought of that ahead of time or not, or if that's just what's inside these capsules. But either way. Okay, let's get there. We want to make sure we don't bump anything. Let's retract this. And while we're at it, let's retract this and retract this. Everything is pointing towards the... we'll do our best not to clip this solar panel too. Okay, there we go. I think the more vulnerable stuff. Okay. RCS. You know what's nice about this solar panel is that marks the dorsal or top part of the ship, so it's really easy for me to see that I need to go this way to go down. This way a bit. There. Time warp a little more. Oh, I so have my doubts. Okay, let's see here. We're going to come down a little bit. Going straight back. Actually, we can probably come down a little bit more. Coming over to top. Time warp again a little bit. And now everybody needs to place their bets on whether we're going to fit in there or not. I honestly, seriously have my doubts. But we're going to find out. It's these guys that are messing me up for sure. But of course, if I retract them, it completely covers the docking port, so... Okay, let's come down a bit more. Aim our camera at the front here. There we go. Feels like I need to come this way. Oh, this is silly. I just don't want to... I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I'm starting to see the target icon here. So this little purple target is that docking port. So I need to sort of finagle it towards where my ship icon is right here. where's that prograde? There we are. That has me going in the right direction. The whole question is it going to fit? Is she going to fit? That's fitting, my friends. It's tight. It's tight, but we're in there. All right. Okay, that worked. That worked out great. Okay, let's open up TAC Fuel Balancer. I don't want to stay connected here too long, and I'm interested in stealing all of your liquid fuel. So liquid fuel is this. And you know what, something I did not notice for the absolute longest time with TAC Fuel Balancer is if you take a look at these numbers here, these numbers represent vessels. I think the numbers themselves are arbitrary, but I can tell by the fact that, see, here's the Jumbo 64 fuel tank, that's this one, and that's on number 3. So that all of this stuff is vessel number 3, and all of these ones here are nerve 1. So all I got to do is go bump, bump, bump. I used to sit there forever trying to figure out, whoops, not that one. No, that one too. Absolutely. Sorry. I used to figure out forever, like which tanks were on which vessels, but the numbers here are like that. We are all fueled up, my friends. Oh, and then while we're here, sorry, we are going to transfer all of our data. Transfer data here. We're stealing this materials bay and mystery goo. So now if I highlight it, notice if I move the mouse over these guys that it's the capsule here that's highlighting. So that's telling me we got it all. So there's 70 science, 45, so 115 science, 15 more, 130 science. Meh. It's all right, I guess. Okay, we've got our fuel. Thanks for the reminder to not forget that science, though. And we can now lose this, and we can now undock. Woot. If I hit the right one. All right. And reset the camera, because I don't know which one I'm on here. There we are. Back away. All right. I am happy guy. Okay, and we can even bring out the, extend that radiator again. Extend these antennas. They're not necessary, but I'm a fan of symmetry, I suppose. Okay. All right. We're good. We're done with you, Asteroid. We will be back. I'm eventually going to want to build some sort of a station around this thing. But we've gotten the science we're going to get out of it. And we got to target ourselves, Laguy. That's our next target. And that won't be hard. Because he's just sitting up here in an orbit pretty close to the same plane of our orbit. We're a difference of 3 degrees, but it's not like it's a big deal. And I don't know. We're coming up. Actually, this is working out pretty good. We're coming up behind him, and we're in the lower orbit. So hopefully we can... This is going to time out okay. We're just going to push this out. We'll see how this works out. So, is this making him come... Oh, that makes him come further. Oh, I think this burn's going to come up pretty quick. Okay. Let's see here. Burn's coming up, but just a couple minutes. I gotta go fast. Come on. Now we do have a bit of a plane difference, as you can very, very clearly see. I'm going to have to deal with. First things first, let's just get the timing of this all right. Oh, this might be about as good as it's going to get. I don't know, according... where is our... Everything's I'm a great big I think I might just do this burn for now and then do a second burn. If I was close to the descending node, I would actually try and see if I could fix this here, but I'm not going to. But I think my honestly think I'm not going to get this. Oh, 8.6, 8.7. That's it. We'll do a born. We'll do another burn partway there. Okay, that's I'm calling it. I'm calling it on this one. There we go. All right, and that burn's coming up in just a couple of minutes. So let's get ourselves. Oh my gosh! And the vector for our burn is, well, we kind of got somebody in our way, don't we? So let's deal with this first. Oh my gosh! Come on. We gotta let's RCS and let's translate downwards. He's downwards on the screen. I suppose that's southwards and then forwards. Get ourselves on the other side of this asteroid because we are in the wrong place. The asteroid's in the wrong place at the wrong time. There we go. And I'm just going to do this burn manually. So I'm going to keep an eye on my closest approaches here. We're about 30 seconds from the burn. It's only a 3-second burn at full throttle, so I'm going to start the burn early and not go to full throttle. Don't need RCS anymore. And how much we got? Almost 2,300 meters per second at delta V. I'm feeling okay about getting. I want to get the other Kerbal. That's what this is about. Getting all my Kerbals. I want every Kerbal. Say goodbye to the asteroid, wherever it is. Okay. Watching there. That's about as close as this going to be. We're missing by about 7.9 kilometers. So what I need now is, and it has to do with the fact we're not in the same plane, but the place to fix this is actually at about halfway between where you are and where your encounter is. Add another maneuver. This isn't going to be to match the planes. This is simply like bring this upwards like so, so that the AN is moving towards where you want it to be. And we'll watch this too. And it might not be the most efficient way to do it, but I just want to get the job done. In fact, I know it's not the most efficient way to do it. Okay, and a little bit of radial. That's making it worse. It's making it better. Turn down the amount here. Radial again. Oh, making it worse. Making it better. Got about a 300 meter difference there at one point. Let's play around a little bit more with the normal. Again, it's just about seeing what's making it better, what's making it worse. So it's a combination of normal and radial. And I'm now obsessed with getting it to 0, and I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do that. But that's okay. We're about 100 meter separation here. We're gonna end up with a little bit of a plane change, but we'll take care of that as we make our rendezvous. All right, and that's coming up in about 9 minutes. Let's see here. Get ourselves pointing in the right direction, and then we'll time warp. This is actually a bigger burn than the burn we just did to move away from the asteroid. Plane changes are always expensive. There we go. Up there. Okay, let's get ourselves to the burn here. I'm so pleased we were able to rob that extra fuel. There's still a fair amount of fuel on that thing. That's going to be a nice little supply for whenever I get a station attached to it. So it doesn't look like we're burning in a particularly productive direction, but we should be able to watch this closest approach here and watch it come down. Close in on here. And again, it's just 5 seconds, so I'm going to start the burn early and then just go to like half throttle. There we go. And actually, once I do this, I should be getting an engineer out to check on my ignitions here. We're down to 11. Okay, 422 meter separation. Let's see if we can dial it in a bit with some RCS. Save ourselves some ignitions. 300 meters. 200 meters. 100 meters. Oh, about 32 meters, 33 meters. All right. Can't complain about that. And, oh, is this us? There. Oh, no, that's still our asteroid there. We should be... There. There's Laguy down there. Time warp in, get closer to Laguy. He's about 14 minutes away. Laguy has been out here for a long, long time. Here, I can time warp faster. Come on. We're getting there with a funny path. I can tell that. Okay, we're about 3 minutes away. Relative velocity is only 33 meters per second, so it's not going to take too much to bring us to a stop and get closer. Is there some talk about my asteroid sample? Can you do it in more than one? Oh, it does say asteroid sample moon space low. Ah, I'm seeing this conversation in the chat talking about the biome for the asteroid. I did not know that you can take the asteroid to different places and that's different amounts of science. That's about the dumbest thing ever. But it might be worth it to push that asteroid up and get some more science, wouldn't it? That's really dumb. That you could just take samples from the different asteroids. And actually, I'm now in high space, so it's not... I don't have to push it up far. Okay, we're only about 2 minutes away. I should really maybe start slowing down here. Actually, 1 minute and 20 seconds away. We found Laguy Kerman. She is still alive. And then you get all of these warnings from Kerbalism freaking out that she has absolutely no life support. But then they'll all go green in just a minute as Kerbalism realizes, oh, no, 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 we're good. We are good. See, here we go. Going green. The one thing you do have to be careful about, though, if you are rescuing people and you have a life support mod installed, whether it's Kerbalism or whether it's something else, is when the vessel isn't rendered or hasn't been rendered for the first time, then it technically has no life support and your Kerbal can be up there indefinitely. But the moment you come within rendering distance of the person you rescue, then their life support starts. Noticing as I time warp that this gets messed up. Oh, it drives me crazy. But, let's get closer. But the moment you render, they start using up life support. And if you mistakenly just like come close to your target and can't get to them within a specified amount of time. I think you got an hour or something. I don't know, actually. I should maybe take a look. But it is something to be cognizant of. All right. We are about to pick ourselves up a brand new Kerbal. Actually, we can look at it from here, can't we? If I click on that, probably says someone's pod here somewhere. Laguy's pod, there we are. Laguy has, 8 days. You got actually the electric charge only has 2.5 hours, so that's what's going to kill Laguy if you let this go. 2.5 hours. They run out of electricity, and then bad things start happening at that point. Alrighty. Oh, I hate when I time warp. This time gets messed up. I don't know. That seems to be something I never used to notice it before, but I've noticed it now repeatedly in 1.12, and it really bugs me. And we're spraying Laguy with our exhaust. Sorry, Laguy. Try and point the wrong way here. All right. We'll come up here. No more nuclear engine. We'll come up here. We'll do a park. We're going to try and minimize the amount of a spacewalk Laguy has to do here for a completely no reason. I'm going to try and bring it in so it's just right above us here. For absolutely no reason other than I want to. Am I going to crash? I want to crash into it. Slow down, slow down. We're coming in kind of quick. There. Am I going to scrape the paint as I come by here? Slow down again. Oh, everything's backwards when you're looking at the retrograde vector. So this is a Mark II command pod. Okay. Relative stop. There we go. That's a park job. That's not bad. Okay, let's get to Laguy. And Laguy is a scientist, so let's get Laguy aboard. EVA. Check propellant. Notice that that's weird. She has a parachute here, but that looks like one of those little science kit things. But it says, if I click on it, it says parachute, so that's weird. I don't know what that is about. Okay, we're going to come across to here. Grab and board. And now we're going to just do some quick engine maintenance because... what am I doing? I'm going to turn off the pressure control. We're going to transfer... Dan. No, Mike. Who's my scientist? Michael's our engineer. There we go. Transfer to here. Michael is going to EVA. Again, checking propellants. And Michael is going to... Whoa! Come back. Just going to service this engine. Now, the engine is actually radioactive. There is radiation that comes off the reactor, which is right there. So you kind of want to do this quick. We're going to get in close. We're going to inspect. It's reached its operational limits. We're going to service it. And it says engine is as good as new. We're going to inspect it again. And it says engine doesn't look used. Is this thing even turned on? Okay, there we go. So I think we fixed the engine. That's all there is to it. You do need an engineer. I think some of the cheaper engines you don't. But when you get into those nuclear ones, you do. Grab. Board. Board. Okay, pressurize. And get back up away from these low-life rescuee types. Okay, so what we got? We got 2,200 meters per second of delta V, and I would like to get to Javier. Now, Javier is like pretty much going the opposite. We're coming around this way, and Javier's coming the other way. Our orbital velocity right now is about 490. So in order to reverse directions completely, let's call this 500. It'll take about 1,000, which should still leave us plenty to actually do this. I think we can do it. Let's get him. Let's get him. Set him as a target. What time we got? Oh, yeah. We got lots of time. I was looking at the time for the stream. So I'm going to make the burn out here. We're coming up to our descending node here. Right? Yeah. I'm just making sure this is where we're going. We're going this direction. So this is the node we're coming to first. We're going to add a maneuver here. And we're going to need to do mostly retrograde, because this is mostly about taking this orbit and flipping it around the other way. But this will give us a good idea. There we go. And now we're going to let it come back out again. Like that. And now I got to start playing some more. So mostly, again, retrograde. There's going to have to be... Oh my, turn this up a bit. This is going to be a lot. Like, there we go. We also have to do some plane changey this way. That's the idea. And now we're going to prograde it. Everything's backwards now. We've flipped around. And all I want is, I'm not going for an encounter just yet. I'm just trying to get the two planes to be very close together. And I want my periapsis to be... The periapsis here to be just touching this orbit. Oh, we got an inclination difference of only 0.1 degree. Oh my gosh, we are really close. Just push this out a little bit more. I think I need to stop playing again. That's pretty good. I think it's good enough for now, and then we can facilitate ourselves a rendezvous. But this will get us into the right plane, and it is 860 meters per second. It's a little less than what I said because we aren't quite flipping our orbit completely around. It isn't a complete 180 turn. It's like a... I don't know how much we're flipping it. Like I don't know, a 150 turn or something. But this is going to be an 860 meter per second burn in about it's a 3 minute and 7 second burn. So it's a big one. It's coming up in 22 minutes. So let's get ourselves ready here. This is at full throttle. We now have 25 ignition, so that's a good thing. And let's get to the burn. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it! Perhaps push out to a larger orbit, John says. Maybe. Maybe. Oop, I'm going to need KOS again. I've kind of set this one up now, so I don't know if I'm in the mood to really change things. This is going to be fun, though. We're doing like we're going to completely flip our orbit around. I am so happy I grabbed that extra fuel. Might have been close otherwise. Trying to remember what I had before I stole that fuel. Remember, we still got to get ourselves back to Kerbin Station, and, you know, we should leave ourselves at least a few hundred meters per second for that. Okay, 20 seconds to the burn. You know, watch it. Yeah, we'll watch it from here. I like how the camera flips around when you do this. We're not going to drive into, no, the capsule. We can watch Kerbin here. Although it looks like we're pointed right at Kerbin, that is purely coincidental. We're not going that way, not just yet. Okay, here we go. And of course, our periapsis is taking a nosedive. It's going right into the moon here. So we're going to get our camera flip as the we're now in a collision course with the moon. But we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. We're killing off this velocity, and in fact, then we'll start bringing it back up in the opposite direction. Let's do a little time warping. Try that again. There we go. The complete flip around. Look at how slow we are going relative to the moon. See how much velocity we have already killed off. Like if I were to stop this engine now, we're just going to fall. That wouldn't be good. That would not be good. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, this is a pretty risky maneuver. Like if the engine failed right now, I don't think there's a single thing you could do. I mean, other than trying to repair the engine. You can even see we're starting to fall. I don't think there's a single thing you can do to keep yourself without this engine, to keep yourself from just crashing into the surface. Now you can see we're starting to creep in the other direction. You can see if you look at the surface of the moon now, we're starting to go to the left on your screen. Periapsis is still well into the negatives, but that should be changing momentarily. Yeah, I can't imagine in real life a ship ever pulling a maneuver like this because of that risk of engine failure and plummeting to your death. All right, our periapsis has just gone positive. We have now flipped our orbit the other way. How did our here turn out? We are at 100 kilometers. Oh yeah, of course we're still at a separation. That's right, I didn't work that part out. How did this come out? Hey! I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. A 0.1 degree inclination difference. The rest of this is going to be a piece of cake. So we're just going to put a maneuver right about here. And we are just going to, let's see, can I do a, not trying to facilitate a encounter. Now, I might not be able to, no, you can see this is coming closer, but what's happening is while we're doing that, our apoapsis is coming down, and if our apoapsis ends up, oh, it's so close, it's not going to work. I cannot slow myself down enough to do it. So what I got to do is actually burn the other way. This is what John was saying, to maybe go for a higher orbit. There's not enough planet below us to go this way, so we're going to go all the way around this way. Increase the size of our orbit. This is unfortunately a little less efficient because we're going to push out to here, but then we got to bring it back down again. But you know, we got a dumb moon in our way. What are you going to do? Okay, let's see here. Closest approach, 12.3 kilometers. 0.5 kilometers. That's about as good as you're going to get. 500 meter separation there. So we got this burn coming up in, what do you got here? 21 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's just get there and do it. 8-second burn. Yeah, let's reduce our throttle a little bit. Make the burn a little longer. Good. Oh, I'm time warping as I'm speaking. Didn't even notice that. Is that still okay here? Yeah. Okay, time warp. I was still in that physics time warp. Didn't even notice. And execute this maneuver. All right. I'm very pleased. I always felt bad leaving Laguy behind. You should never leave a Kerbal behind. So we're going to be scooping up all our Kerbals. Of course, all of these problems, all of these complications are all her fault. Stupid retrograde orbits. Every other Kerbal I've rescued around the moon, and I think this is going to be my 5th Kerbal in total that I've rescued around the moon. Every other one of them was in an orbit just like Javier's here. This nice low equatorial prograde orbit, making our lives easy for us. But Laguy has to make things difficult. That's okay. We like you anyways, Laguy. All right. And I really, yeah, I don't know. We're going to do this. Now I want to then they got to head back. Head back to the station. All right. We're looking at our closest approach here. It's 20 kilometers. 10 kilometers. Oh, 550. I'm not going to touch anything. Well, I always say that, and then I'm going to put on RCS. Can I make it better? Nope, that makes it worse. That makes it a little better. That's good enough. Okay, we are going to be meeting up with them. Let's actually run the alignment dinger. We're going to be meeting up in 1 hour and 16 minutes. So it's going to take a little longer because what we're going to be doing is we're going to take this long, lazy route around, and meanwhile, Javier is going to do probably a couple of orbits. Definitely going to do a couple of orbits. And then we'll meet up again around here. And our relative velocity is going to be about 90 meters per second. That's okay. I'm going to use alarm clock and set up another alarm here for our 1 hour and 14 minutes from now. That looks... Oh, no. That's too close. 1 hour and 10 minutes from now. Okay. Let's change our camera to free. Because we're going to be doing a couple of orbits. And it's nice to sort of keep an eye on things. Okay, here we go. Keep an eye on the moon below us here. So we're going to... Up we go. And now we're coming back down. And oh, that looks like our target right there. Blasting below us. Close that alarm. Close this. We don't need this anymore. Put this on target. Still 1,300 meters per second left in this thing, so plenty for us to get back down to Kerbin. All right, 4 minutes away. It's doing the same thing. I time warp and that time messes up. It really makes this kind of awkward. All right, let's see if we can knock off some velocity and as well push these two closer together. Okay, that is reducing our closest approach and bringing down our velocity at the same time. This is still really, there. That throttle limiter up. Oh, and I wasn't paying attention. And I pushed it too far that way, and now I got to push it back the other way. Silly person. Had a nice 500 meter closest approach that I completely messed up. Okay, 176 meters, got it back. Oh, now the time doesn't mess up when I time warp. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. About a minute. Oh, whoa. Now, oh, it's popped over to the other one. That's fine. About a minute away, but really what I want to do is just bring down this relative velocity here. All right. It's really glitching back and forth here right now. I don't know what, again, that's about, but whatever. We're pretty close now. Oh, Javier. We have found Javier. He is still alive. And the requisite warnings. But he's fine. How far are we? Oh, I'm not time warping. Thought I was time warping there because of all these times all being goofy. These intersect distances now are completely, I don't know, whatever. Let's start slowing down. Slow down some more. No idea what might... Oh, there it is. Now it came back there briefly. There, it's about a minute away now. Oh, let's change our view back to orbit. That's what's also getting me. There we go. Okay, one final push with the nuclear engine here. This is working out well because my exhaust is going that way. Okay, at least for now it is. Now I gotta turn it back. Okay. Let's greet our newest Kerbal here. I'm not sure why I flipped. I want to flip around that way so don't worry about hitting the... Actually, wait, why am I doing this? I don't know why I'm doing anything. Put it back this way. Back here. There. We'll come above them this time. And do not know what kind of pod we got. We are in the dark. Sorry about that. It's like one of the making history ones. Do ourselves a little park job here. Do our best not to scratch the paint. Okay, zero out our velocity and let's meet Javier. Switch over. Javier is a pilot. Javier the pilot, so yeah, EVA pilot. Check resources. And where is the hatch? I think it's down there. Whoa, I got weird camera things happening there. I don't know what happened there. Okay, here, we're coming back down. All right, and board. Now, I can't remember, is this still pressurized? It is. So we're all pressurized. All our pressure control is running. Everything is good. It is time to go home. Turn everything off. Let's go home. Okay, so Kerbin. Let's go back to target selection and take that target off. Add a maneuver. All right. And we're going to be aero braking our way into low orbit about Kerbin. I am not sure. We'll see how far we can get before this stream. Run out of time on the stream. We might not get to the station. We'll try. We shall try. I'm going to go for about 45 degrees or kilometers above the surface. I always find that sort of seems to work okay. Kind of seems to work okay. It feels like about the right spot, so I think I'm going to call it right about there. Okay. And let's see here. Burn is coming up in... RCS can come off. What 19 minutes. Okay, let's just start time warping and see where we're moving relative to our little capsule here. Capsule looks like it's determined to get in our way. Maybe not. I think the capsule's going to be in our... is very closely positioned to our vector here, which I'm not a fan of, but let's see if we can get ahead of it before we have to perform this burn. Last thing I want to do is drive straight up into this capsule. So we're going to translate up a little bit and then translate forward and see what that does for us. Yep. That's working. Get that capsule behind us. Get behind me, annoying capsule. Is this thrust on full? It is. All right, get ready to do the burn. RCS is still on here. I'm getting plugs in the chats for my tutorial videos. So I'll plug in my live stream for my tutorial videos. I try to make it to take somebody who is, if you look at watch them from order, take somebody who's never ever heard of the game to doing the same sort of things you're seeing here. That's my goal anyway. So I was a little bit closer. Well, I say get to what you're seeing here, but I don't tend to talk about all the mods in my tutorials, I'll say that. The tutorials are stock. Get used to the stock game, then mod it up. Would be my advice. Okay, goodbye little capsule, goodbye moon. We have ourselves a ton of kerbals. We gotta get ourselves back to the station. Stuff sitting here on the... I gotta come back to the moon sometime too. I'm not really You know, I complain about the science that I don't have. Where's my science meter now? It's at 104. But I really, really haven't exploited landing on the moon, landing on Minmus with Kerbals that much yet. Because I just keep getting distracted by other things like this, which are fun to do, but really aren't netting me a whole lot of science. How'd that turn out? I'm pretty good with that. Okay, let's get out. Oh wait, align this up. We'll say goodbye to the moon. And to be honest, I think this is probably also a good time to say goodbye to you all and draw this stream to a close. Obviously, next stream on Monday, we're going to be getting these Kerbals back to the station, and most of them back down to the surface in our little space plane. I've yet to land that little space plane outside of simulation mode, so that will be fun. And then bring up a crew and send them out to Minmus and try and mine the bejeebers out of the science that is available on Minmus. But in the meantime, I'm going to thank everybody for watching here, everybody that's in the chat, everybody that's watching this at a later date. I'm going to ask you to have yourselves a fabulous weekend, and I hope to see as many of you as possible again on Monday. Bye, everybody.